hear that? No more freaks.
Something scared him off? Hey, Bruce! Still using shadows to scare the crap out of us criminals, huh? Don't sweat it. Batman doesn't kill people.
Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has been courting controversy once again, to the surprise of no one. Is it because it's better, worse, or just as middling as some players expected? Is it because servers constantly went down during early access for Deluxe Edition owners who spent $100 to play this always online game early? Offline mode coming later this year, by the way. There was also that bug which auto-completed the story for some who logged in for the first time, which wasn't actually viewed as a negative by some in retrospect, but I digress. Despite Rocksteady taking servers down for multiple hours, it acted quickly and fixed the issue. So what's the problem? It's about the Batman, specifically his fate. Heavy spoilers follow from this point on, so be warned. In the story, Deadshot, Harley Quinn, King Shark, and Captain Boomerang are approached by Amanda Waller of Argus to form Task Force X. It's revealed that Brainiac has invaded Metropolis, enslaving its citizens and turning them into his soldiers. Worse, he's brainwashed the Justice League, specifically Green Lantern, Superman, The Flash, and Batman. So the Suicide Squad seemingly has to do the impossible, kill the Justice League, which is indeed the name of the video game. Hilariously enough, the four are punked pretty quickly by Batman, who hunts them down one by one during the Batman Experience, a museum calling back to the Caped Crusaders' various Arkham adventures. To say that disposing of them is a trivial matter is underselling it. He doesn't rely on martial arts prowess, relying on stealth to take them down. It's worth mentioning that this Batman now kills, due to Brainiac's interference. Why doesn't he just kill the Suicide Squad then? There's a reason for that. The nonchalant Brainiac wants them alive, but he's still capable of taking them with ease. Eventually, you have to kill the Batman. Many criminals have tried, some succeeded, others failed, and now it's your turn. It starts with the squad seemingly ambushing him in the Batcave, only to be greeted by a holographic recording. After some quote-unquote comedy, where they skip past some of the lines about stopping the Flash and Green Lantern, they learn what everybody already knows, that there is no counter for Batman.
Me. There is no anti-Batman device.
Ah, rats. Well, it was worth a shot.
Robin was here. I do not think he won.
That's got Robin. Talk about cutting out the middleman.
Before they can hear how to deal with Superman, the cave is doused in fear toxin. Harley, suddenly knowledgeable about fear toxin, advises the squad members to activate different mixers and not freak out about all the scary stuff. These include flaming Batman spectrals that emerge from the illusionary statues, oddly reminiscent of the bat symbol from the Dark Knight's movie posters. Each squad member has to activate 3 mixers each, as their past traumas and inner fears mock them. One by one, they're knocked out, leaving Harley. As it turns out, Harley didn't give those instructions to the squad. It was Batman, using the vocal synthesizer, a neat callback to Arkham Knight. Upon activating the last mixer and venting the toxin, the nightmarish Batman appears, and the game over screen is present. However, like Sunset Overdrive, the mission becomes unfailed, with Harley talking about making sense of Scarecrow's jabbering over the years in Arkham, and having a degree in neuroscience. Apparently, she made a fear toxin to counter Batman's fear toxin. Is that before or after he started imitating her with the vocal synthesizer? How does she know the composition of this particular mix, assuming it's not the same one used by Scarecrow? Are we supposed to believe that Batman made no changes to the formula whatsoever? Regardless, it's now Batman who faces his worst nightmare and is still a massive flaming figure towering over the squad. Anyway, he unleashes 3 easily avoidable attacks, has a giant weak spot to shoot at, and then the fight ends with Batman bloodied and beaten.
Big Jerk's still breathing.
Wait, were you trying to kill him?
What happened to tactfully taking out each member of the squad, like before? What about using all the devices in the Batcave, like the comics, when facing the Court of Owls in his Thrasher suit? None of that. The great Batman, who always has a plan and is one step ahead of the squad, is felled by his over-reliance on fear toxin and some hubris. Right. Later, after obtaining the means to kill Superman, the squad carries Batman's beaten body to Centennial Park, where the giant Superman statue resides. They have a conversation, and before he can breathe, and before he can berate the villain, Harley interrupts with a speech. She ends it with her so-called best joke, her being the one to end Batman, presumably. One shot to the head, and the Dark Knight is seemingly dead. This has triggered outrage among fans of the Batman Arkham series at how unceremoniously the hero dies. It's almost symbolic in a meta-sense, as if Rocksteady is killing its beloved creation and committing to the bad guys save the world motif of the Suicide Squad. I've seen superheroes die in many different ways throughout the decades of reading comics, Batman included. Death at the hands of Alfred after turning into a zombie, death by the Joker before his revival, and even death at the hands of a younger clone. Maybe I'm desensitized, especially with all the reboots that DC has done to its universe to bring back or redeem its many heroes, never mind all the fake-outs. Nevertheless, this is still a terrible death. It's not because people didn't actually think they would be killing heroes in a game about killing the Justice League, as noted by comparably less sadness for the deaths of the Flash and Green Lantern. It's not terrible because it was Harley who pulled the trigger. It's terrible because this isn't a Batman taken to his limits and outsmarted, overpowered, like in the fight with Superman in The Dark Knight Returns, or utterly exhausted like in Nightfall. This isn't a Batman who had to forsake his morals and use a gun, like in Batman Beyond. It's a Batman executed because of mere plot contrivance. A character that many loved and grew up with, from the incredible stealth of Batman Arkham Asylum to the immersive setting of Batman Arkham City and Arkham Knight turned into this.
You've already lost, Luther. I am vengeance. I am...
Of course, Batman couldn't actually be Batman and trounce the Suicide Squad, even though he did so earlier with relative ease. They're the main characters after all. Of course, he had to rely on fear toxin and turn into a giant hulking figure, like the Scarecrow in Arkham Asylum. How else would the main characters have a giant boss with a weak spot to shoot and easily avoidable attacks? I don't even know about Harley's whole fear toxin spiel. At the end of it all, the death of Arkham vs. Batman didn't mean anything, and that's without discounting any possible revivals in the post-launch seasons. Batman was just another box to tick off the list in this live service looter-shooter slop because someone thought it would make for a cool fake-out and boss fight, and that is truly the biggest joke of all. Well, maybe aside from Superman's death, but that's another story. That's all for now. If you enjoy what you saw, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, now is a great time to subscribe. We upload brand new videos every single day. After subscribing, don't forget to enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time, right here on GamingBolt.